Today I want to suggest you a game, or maybe a thought experiment, call it however you want, and first I heard from it from this YouTube channel Ebb and Preach. I'm talking about a privilege game. I'm still not a huge fan of the idea and ideology behind privilege and social privileges that people have, but this game at least helped me to understand that I was slightly but mistaken about this whole idea. Again, I still don't like the idea overall, but I do recognize that it has some roots to it. Let us talk about the game and about the whole ideology. But obviously, before we begin, I have to tell you that this is Yury Experience, and here I share my various ideas about different topics. I do 2 videos per week, Mondays and Thursdays. If you will enjoy this video, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Let's go! So what is a privilege game? Privilege game is a form of a would you rather game where you are choosing between belonging to different social groups. I would suggest you in the beginning to hold everything equal, all of the parameters or all of the human characteristics equal, but change only one. For example, race or ethnicity, or being smart or not being smart, being able-bodied, not able-bodied, belonging to some sexuality group, sex and gender, being rich or not being rich, being attractive or not being attractive, various categories that somehow describe our life. For example, would you rather be dark-skinned or light-skinned or like middle dark-skinned? Or would you prefer to be rich or poor? Or would you prefer to be attractive or not attractive? Or would you prefer to be smart or rather not really smart? And when you are done with individual parameters, I would suggest you to combine them, not more than 2 at once. For example, would you rather be poor white person or rich black person? Or would you rather be an attractive Indian person or not very attractive German person? First, I would suggest you to think completely subjective. So if your life would go like that, if your life would go as it goes right now, as it went or as it have gone since ages, you understand what I mean. If your life would be same, but only this parameter would change, what would you prefer? Which state, which characteristic would you like to have or would you prefer to have? Then make a small step in direction of objectivity and think about that in terms of your country. So in your country, if one person in your country would still live there and have some general experience for a person in that specific country, what would be beneficial for that person in that country or not beneficial for that person? And then go on a global scale, on a world scale. What would be the best, more or less objectively, more or less statistically, to be? Or what would be better actually? What would be better, what would be worse if you were born like right now somewhere on Earth and had to live your life? Which characteristics would you prefer to have and which characteristics you would try to avoid? This game is not really about thinking bad about yourself, feeling yourself privileged and feeling yourself like proud or maybe not proud, or feeling yourself bad because you have some privileges, or feeling yourself good because you have some privileges. No, this game, for me personally at least, is more about recognizing of existence of privilege. Recognizing the fact that privileges do exist and some people do live their life easier or more or less easier because they have that. Again, I want to remind you my overall opinion about privileges. Belonging to the group that has some privilege doesn't make your life great or really bad per definition. Only because you belong to one group, it doesn't make all the experiences of all the people in the same group same. So basically, all good, not all white people are same, not all black people are same, not all men are same, not all women are same, not all able-bodied people are same, not all not able people body are same, and so on. But generally, some people have more struggle throughout their life because they belong to some group. For example, able-bodied people don't have some problems that not able-bodied people are having. People who are not able-bodied have to put way more thought sometimes for basic navigation throughout their life. So I mean not like navigation decisions, no, I mean basic navigation from point A to point B. Because not always there are opportunities to go down the stairs, to maybe travel properly. There are a lot of people and it's not always nice to be surrounded with a lot of people. And if you have some kind of problems, being it physiological or psychological, basic navigation from point A to point B can be something extremely difficult. And for people who are able-bodied, and in theory, you can create some hierarchy of privileges. Because at the end of the day, every kind of privilege is still a privilege. Every kind of belonging to some specific group is still belonging to this group. It still provides you some opportunities, and also it has some downsides to it. But you can create your own hierarchy how you think the world works. For example, like a lot of people will put beauty and being smart on the top. If you have beauty, so if you are an attractive person and you are a smart person, or you are able to learn, or you have a lot of experience or whatnot, then your life would be easier in comparison to a person who doesn't have one of these things. And if you don't have both, then your life will be even more difficult. And at the end of the day, all of these things can be put on a hierarchy. And is being smart more important than being rich? Is being smart more important than being attractive? It all basically depends on your way of thinking. I have my personal idea of that, you have your personal idea of that. And what can we do? We can be thankful. So thankful that we have some privileges at all. And obviously it is easier to live on top of the hierarchy. It is easier to be smart, to be attractive, to be rich, than not to be any of these things. So I think it shall be recognized as something that we shall be thankful for, and maybe more people shall think about people on the different side of the spectrum, or a different part of the hierarchy. But again, I know that not all people just have position in a hierarchy and that defines their whole life. If it would be like that, life would be more boring, because all smart people would be successful, all rich people would be rich until the end of their life, and all attractive people would have everything they want thrown to their feet. But it doesn't happen like that. Yes, on a lot of occasions it does, but not on all of the occasions. There are a hell lot of people who have each of these attributes, but they're not successful, or they're not lucky or happy or whatnot, because of various reasons basically. But the overall idea, privileges are there. I don't think we shall feel bad about having privilege, but we shall recognize having it. We shall be thankful for our life being like that. And there's basically nothing that we can do about it. I cannot do anything about being as smart as I am, as attractive as I am, having my ethnicity, my race and whatnot. I cannot do anything about that. I mean, I could try, but it's difficult. So I can work from my point of view, my personal, me, Yury, not my privilege, and do my best in my life. Maybe it would help you too. Maybe using this small thought experiment would help you to do good for the world. If you want to do good for the world. If you don't, then don't do. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it is the case, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Except for that, you can leave a comment. And I see you on Thursday. Have a great week.